Hello everyone, welcome to Health Matters. I am Nelly Kwasinwi and I'm a transformational and mental fitness coach. Today I'm talking about tips to improve self-esteem from emotional abuse. So there are two main things I'll talk on: emotional abuse and self-esteem. Emotional abuse is a collection of behaviors that someone presents to another. It could be intimidating or threats, such as shouting, screaming, acting in ways that are aggressive and threatening to the other person who is at the receiving end. It could be criticism and this person feeling that they are not worthy. Control, telling somebody what they can't and can't do. It could be undermining another person's abilities. It could be being made to feel guilty that aim at impacting on someone's emotional and psychological well-being. And this person, when it's going on for a while, it does not necessarily mean that this behavior is done intentionally. It could be unintentional. But then, if it persists, it really impacts on the person who is at the receiving end. Because what they hear, they internalize this and it becomes their reality. Which means whatever they've been hearing in their heads, that's how they will believe about themselves, others, and the world. And imagine, this will distort their reality from what actually exists. So then they develop many types of fears. For instance, they fear that they are not worthy, they are not enough. They fear that they will fail. They think that if they fail, they will be ashamed, they will be guilty. So all those fears, it will make them to keep themselves in a shell. They will struggle to express themselves. And then it will really affect their self-esteem. It will affect their confidence. So that's emotional abuse. And I've talked about how it goes into the self-esteem. So then, what is self-esteem? It is how someone perceives themselves, their abilities, their capabilities, and their decision-making processes. Imagine if one has developed these fears about themselves because of what they've been hearing from their environment. It really affects them because they don't really know who they are. They doubt themselves, whatever they do, and it really affects them. So then, how do we know? How do we identify the signs that someone is suffering from low self-esteem? The first one is the person will be very sensitive to criticism. If someone says something that has a bit of negative, they will get really upset and they will feel agitated. They are critical of themselves because that is what they've been hearing, the negativities that they've been hearing. They are very sensitive. When they hear negative things, say in a sentence, if a sentence of say 10 words and one of it is negative, that person will focus on that one negative word, and that will distort everything about that conversation. Another way to notice that someone is suffering from low self-esteem is social withdrawal, because they feel that they are not worthy, they are not good enough. They fear that other people will judge them. They prefer to avoid social situations because they don't know what can happen. They feel very irritable, and then it leads them to be hostile because they have lots of things going on in their heads, but they struggle to express themselves. So then it comes out in the way of being hostile, being irritable, because when someone says something, they feel really agitated, but knowing that they can't even talk about it, they fear to talk about it, they just hold it within them. Another symptom is that this person focuses on their personal problems. They focus on those personal problems and the negative thoughts. It goes around in a circle because they think about it. They don't think about the solution, but they just keep going on and on about that negative experience without any way forward to get any solutions. And all this leads to physical symptoms such as fatigue. You feel so tired. It leads to anxiety. It leads to insomnia. You go to bed to sleep, but you really struggle to sleep because the thoughts keep going on and on and on and on. It can lead to headaches as well. Another symptom is the negative thoughts and negative feelings about one's self. One does not acknowledge that they have accomplished anything. When they do accomplish, they will put it down to luck or that it is someone who did it, when actually they are the ones, because they don't feel worthy. Another sign that someone is suffering from low self-esteem is they feel ashamed and guilty. So they don't want to step up. They always want to hide behind other people because that confidence is not there. They feel that they are lacking. So those are some of the signs to know that someone is suffering from low self-esteem. Now, I'll move on to how to improve on low self-esteem. There are lots and lots of ways that you can start implementing straight away. For instance, watch out your negative thoughts. When you sit, sometimes you hear that little tiny voice in your head that says, you cannot do this, you cannot achieve this, you will fail. You know, that negative, that tiny voice that just discourages you, the self-sabotage. Watch out for those words. Watch out for those conversations, for those voices. When they start coming up, try to capture those voices and deal with them. How then can you deal with the voices? Acknowledge that, yeah, the voices are there, and you can tell yourself, stop. That's an action. To stop. This stop is to intervene, that you don't want to continue thinking negatively. Stop so you can pause yourself and redirect your thoughts. You can do something else to get your mind off that negative thought. So that is how you capture and you divert your thinking. Challenge that negative thought. For instance, if a thought comes to your head that, oh, you are not worthy, you cannot achieve anything. Actually, when you acknowledge that, you take a step back and you start thinking, you say, but that's not true. So now you're looking for evidence. That is not true. Because say yesterday or this morning, you woke up in the morning on time. You made your breakfast, simple things. Those are evidence that you can accomplish things. So you are saying that to yourself, and it is evidence to prove that you are capable of doing things and not that you are not worthy. So there are just small steps that you can take to challenge those negative thoughts. The next one is accept yourself for who you are. Yes, I know all of us, everyone has imperfections, and we are weird in some way or another. That is just what makes you perfect. Accept you for who you are. Avoid comparing yourself to other people, because when you compare yourself to other people, you will easily pick up on the good things about other people, and that's when you start thinking that, oh, really, you are not good enough. But no, your imperfections and weirdness makes you just perfect the way you are. Embrace your uniqueness. Accept you for who you are. Work towards improving yourself from the way you were yesterday and where you want to be tomorrow, instead of comparing yourself with other people. Another thing you can do is praise yourself. When you accomplish anything, put your hand on your chest and say, yes, I did it. You could have had help from other people, but you put in some effort. So acknowledge and accept that you have accomplished something and praise yourself. There are many different ways that you can praise yourself. The other one is learn to express yourself. When you have gone through this emotional abuse and you develop all these fears, you have a lot to express, but you fear. You don't have that confidence to express yourself, and you just keep things within you. Take little tiny steps to express yourself. People talk of being assertive. This is a way of expressing yourself, talking about what is going on in your head. Express yourself, how you are feeling, what your thoughts are. So talk it out, don't leave it in. Because if you leave it in, it doesn't help you. It just leads to negative feelings, negative thoughts, and that reinforces the impact of the emotional abuse that you have gone through. Another aspect is engage in personal development. It could be on YouTube, just so many. Engage in courses, anything that will make you a better person from the way you were yesterday to today and how you will be tomorrow. So just engage in things that will make you a better version of yourself. Remember, you cannot control everything, and that is one of the biggest mistakes that people make, that we want to change everything, which is something you cannot accomplish. Instead, focus on what you can control, and those things are the ones within your reach. Focus on your emotion. That's something you can concentrate on. Focus on yourself as a person. Because if you identify that this person outside of you is the problem and you want that person to change, that is not something that will happen, because no one can make another person to change unless that person decides to change. So instead of wasting so much energy trying to change other people and situations, focus on yourself. Change yourself first, because that is what you can control. Another aspect is start doing little things that you enjoy and that makes you happy, that calms you down. For instance, you might want to have a long bath. That will calm you down. You might want to go for a walk. You might want to sit and have a bar of chocolate and have a cup of coffee. Those are just small things, but the impact is massive. Just do anything that will calm you down. You might want to listen to soothing music. You might just want to be calm within your area. Probably burn some candles. Anything that will keep you grounded. And all of that is to calm you down. Another aspect, identify those triggers. What are the things that upset you? Write them down. Journaling is very important. Write down all those triggers and think of how you can deal with them. So writing them down, the triggers, writing how you can deal with these triggers, and practice them, because just writing will not make any difference if you do not take action. So another one is reflect, reflect, and reflect. and take action. Take action. These are the tips on improving self-esteem from emotional abuse. Thank you all so much and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.